Hey guys, today I want to share with you this well-known but forgotten marketing strategy that made me an extra $100,000 in just 1 week recently and has provided me with a long-term sustainable and consistent revenue for my business. And the truth is that every time I forget about this strategy, my business will suffer. Every single time I stop focusing on this strategy, it will suffer in the next few months. So you want to pay attention if you want to grow your business, especially we live in an uncertain time like this. So before I dive into the topic, once again, I appreciate the early thumbs up for this video. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Every week I post videos on how I grow multiple 7 to 8 figure businesses online, what I'm currently investing in, and productivity hacks for entrepreneurs to do more with less. So if you're into any of that stuff and you're an entrepreneur, do consider subscribing to my channel. So back to today's topic. This is a well-known but forgotten strategy that is known to many people. Probably a lot of people have heard it before, but not many people are using it. And this is also known as email marketing. So I know before you close off this video and roll your eyes at me and tell me, Gabriel, I've probably heard of email marketing before. Let me ask you a question. Do you actually have a solid email marketing strategy, even though you've heard of email marketing before? Are you, number one, constantly growing your email list? Number two, are you consistently sending emails to build relationship with your list? And number three, are you sending enough promotion to your list to get them to buy from you? If you are not doing all three of this, then perhaps you don't really understand how important this is, not just for your business to thrive in today's world, but to survive. Someone once said this to me, that if you know it but you're not doing it, then you only think you know it and not truly know it. So if you're not doing email marketing or any of the stuff that I just mentioned, you might want to pay close attention. So first off, why email list? Why build an email list? Some people say it's dead. Some people say nobody read emails anymore. And honestly, that's so far from the truth. You see, when I first started digital marketing and I started learning about digital marketing, I joined a lot of masterminding programs, a lot of programs that I paid, 5 figures for, coaching and mentoring. And all these programs that I paid 5 figures for, mentoring and coaching, when I go for this, I'm expecting to learn some big jargon, some big, marketing strategy that nobody have heard of. And it's very common that at all this high-level mastermind, they always tell you to focus on your email list. And it's something that we've all heard before. And you have probably heard of this saying that the money is in the list. And I can't tell you how true this was for me in the past few years of my business. Every time I take my eyes off growing my email list, my business will suffer. There was about 3 times in my business I forgot about this principle. Maybe because we have found a cheap traffic source, like maybe Facebook ads was very good back then, or YouTube ads was very good back then, and we had a very positive return on ad spend, and we were making a killing. So for example, we were spending $1 on ads, but we were getting about $4 to $5 back minimally, or even higher than that. And so I thought to myself, why bother building email lists when it's so profitable with ads? And and I start to justify to myself, email list takes a long time, it's an outdated strategy, and what's more important is the profit. And each time I catch myself thinking like that, I realize in hindsight, my business will suffer eventually due to a drop in profit after a few months, and our cash flow will ultimately be affected. So today, as much as you can find opportunities to get very cheap traffic like Facebook ads and YouTube ads, like all traffic sources, it will eventually become expensive. And the cost to acquire a customer will just keep going up. And profit margin will just start to thin. And this will be an endless chase for the next cheaper traffic source. And if you cannot catch the next traffic source, you are going to start going to losses. And that was what happened to us. I took my eyes off my email list. I focused so much on cheap traffic like Facebook ads and YouTube ads and all that kind of stuff. And then what happened is that it becomes more and more expensive over time. And my margins start to thin and my profits started to reduce to the point that we were almost making a loss. So this is the reason why email list is important. See, when you have an email list, you own that list and you never have to pay for it ever again. See, whatever you're selling to your list, you get to keep 100% of the gross profit. There's no cost per acquisition. That's the beauty about having an email list. So yes, you may want to go out and go and find all the cheap traffic sources, like the most recent hype right now is like TikTok ads and stuff like that. You see, you can always find the next cheaper traffic source, but what you want to do is to use this cheap traffic source to gain as many email lists as possible, so that when all this traffic source becomes expensive, you now have this big amount of email lists that you can sell to again and again. So here's an example. I have one business that I own and we have about 100k email list. We were able to use cheap traffic sources to build a very big list. And initially we were getting very good ROAS, very good return on ad spend. But as we scale and as we spend more money, our cheap traffic source started to become more and more expensive, and our return started to get lower and lower, and it reached a point where our margins started to dry up. And so we decided to stop all ads and we just focus on sending emails. And by just sending 3 emails a week to this for this company, we were able to generate an additional $10,000 a week just by selling affiliate offers, which means that we don't even have any cost selling these affiliate offers. And that's about $40,000 a month just by sending emails with no acquisition cost. And I would just say pretty much it's 100% profit. Now, in this example that I've just given you, we discovered this method late. So we didn't have a very good relationship with the email list because we didn't build relationship with the list, and we were just sending a lot of promotional email. But yet, we were still able to generate about $40,000 per month with 100,000 leads. But the general rule of thumb is that one email is worth about $1 per month per email. So if I have 10,000 emails, I'm supposed to generate $10,000 a month additional. If I have 100,000 emails, then it's supposed to generate $100,000 in extra revenue on top of whatever I'm doing. And in some cases, if your relationship with your list is awesome, like the people love you, you have added a lot of value to them, you have built a great relationship with them, and you have a great quality list that you constantly do list hygiene and you get rid of people who don't want to be on your list. One email could be worth $10 per email per month. So here's another example. See, this is one of my business, and we have about 8,000 email lists. Now, this email list is 8,000 is not a lot for a lot of big companies. But the reason why we have so little lists is because we keep doing list hygiene. We keep getting rid of people who don't want to be on a list, and we reduce our list over time. And the quality is so good that our opening rate is usually above 20%, and we have a very solid 1 to 2% click-through rate, which is above the market average nowadays. And we launched a new software recently, and we sent an email campaign to our email list, and we were able to generate $200,000 in sales using ads and email. But with our data tracking, we realized that 50% of that came through emails. That means $100,000 came in within a week of email campaign with only 8,000 lists. This is the reason why in our company today, especially in the beginning of your company, we shouldn't care so much about the front end profit. We are constantly looking to see if our email list is growing. We're constantly putting out things to grow our email list because we know that if we nurture the list well, the profit can come in later. So I know that some of you who are watching this right now, you may say to yourself, but this may not work for my industry, right? My XX industry, fill in the blank. And I'm in the property industry. Does this really work for me? I'm in this traditional business. Does email still work for me? So all I can tell you is this: I have a property client that has a very small 3,000 list, but very solid email list, and generates an additional $40,000 to $50,000 in commission a month from that 3K list. I also have a financial planner client with a 7,000 list, generating an additional 6 to 7 figure deals a month. Now, I can go on and on about different industry. The fact is this: traditional industry now is benefiting a lot from email lists just simply because a lot of people don't believe in it. So if you want consistent sales without over relying on ads, you need email marketing, and here are 3 things to make it work. So number 1 is you want to constantly have campaigns to grow your email list, right? So if your email list is very small, then there's no point. You want to constantly grow it. And this is how we gauge our company right now, not just based on like our profits and our sales, although that is good. We are constantly tracking one of the most important thing, which is email list. Every week we will have meetings, and in our meeting we will track, is our email list growing? And here's what we realize: as long as our email lists are growing, our sales and revenue will somehow grow. So here's the thing. See, I like paid traffic. I like to run ads because I know that when I run ads, when I put a certain amount of money, I can get back a certain amount of money. So what I do is I use cheap traffic source to build email lists. The traffic source is not just for me to make profit. So here's what I'll do. I'll run ads and I'll give out something of value for free, right? So this is why people will run ads to give out free ebooks, free webinar, and all kinds of free stuff. And that actually helps you to get people to opt in into your funnel so that they give you their contact, right? And then what I do is I will then find a way to sell something right after, so I can break even with the intention of just breaking even or just making a bit of profit. Because my intention is not just to make profit front end. If I can break even or make some profits, then the emails that I've gained is free. So here's an example. If I spend $1,000 and I get 100 leads, so that's about $10 per lead. But if I can get 5 people out of the 100 leads to spend $400 each, I will get back $2,000. This means that I'm already profiting front end. Every $1,000 I put in, I'm getting $2,000 back. But what's more important is I gain that 100 email. So then I rinse and repeat. I put back that $2,000 back in and get 200 leads and then 4,000 sales and so on and so forth. Now I understand there'll be a point of law of diminishing return where I will no longer get a 2 times return. I may get 1.5, I can get 1.2. But you see, as long as it break even, is good enough for me, because by repeating this process, I will reach a point of me generating about 5 to 6 figure email lists, and then I do not have to spend on ads again. So even if you reach a point where I'm just putting 1,000 in and getting 1,000 back, that's still fine. That's still awesome because the emails are now free. So this is how we built one of our company to over 100,000 email lists, and we don't actually have to pay for it, right? Because they already spent something and all the email lists are now free. So the first one is to grow your list constantly with some kind of cheap ad and to sell a front-end product to break even, and so you don't have to pay for it. Number 2, build a relationship with your list. Now, sometimes I don't like to call it email list because it sounds like they are just an email or a number. But the truth is that those people reading the emails are actual human beings. If you keep sending promotional email, sales emails, people are not going to enjoy opening your email. It is transactional and it doesn't show that you care. So I like to send emails that doesn't contain any promotional, just sharing a story about what I'm going through and something that is relatable. And this leads me to another thing, which is constantly sending people about the same topic. So for example, if you are in property or real estate, every email is real estate, every email is property. You know, if you are in financial planning, then every email is stock market, every email is investing. That's boring, right? See, yes, we are a marketing company, but I don't just send marketing stuff all the time to my email list. Occasionally, I like to send things that are not even marketing related, but they are still relevant to my audience. See, again, everyone that is reading your email, they are actual human beings and they deal with real life issues. They are not just marketing and growing their business. It could be relationship, it could be parenting, it could be self-confidence. And so what I like to do is I will share story of myself, something I went through recently that has nothing to do with my business, but relatable to their struggles. So maybe it's something that I struggled recently. Like for example, I've dealt with some self-doubt recently and loss of confidence because my company was not growing at the level that I want to. And I realized that that's something that everybody face. Or it's something that I learned recently by being a new dad. Because as a new dad, there are a new set of challenges that I face. And I will send these stories and my discovery about myself to my audience. And again, why do I send this? Because everybody reading the email, they're just human beings like me. And they too struggle with other areas of their life. And if they can relate to me on a personal level, they are more likely to buy from me on the business level. So they will struggle in other areas of their life, such as their finances, relationships, self-doubt, lack of motivation, and I try to be as relatable as possible. And here's a tip of why I share my struggles. Because people can relate to your struggles more than your achievement. So share your struggles, share your mess and how you got out of it. So this is how I build a relationship with my leads. Be real, be vulnerable, and I aim to send at least 2 to 3 value email a week without any promotional. But this leads me to number 3. Number 3, send promotional emails. See, if you're only sending value email, then you're not promoting. And if you're not promoting, there's no way people can buy. You see, at the end of the day, you want people to buy. You see, I see a lot of businesses who are doing email marketing. And the problem is not that they are not sending email. They are sending email, but they're not sending enough offers and enough promotion. And so if you don't send promotion, people cannot buy and people cannot pay you money. It's kind of like a guy getting friend zone, right? You're always sending stuff, you're always doing things nice for the girl that you like, but you never go in for the close. You never ask that person to be your girlfriend or to be your life partner, and then hoping they will do something. That's why a lot of guys get friend zone. And it's the same thing here. You're always being nice, sending a lot of emails, trying to connect to them, trying to be relatable, but you don't ask for the sale and hope that they will buy someday. That will not happen. Okay? You will just get friend zone or, business zone. They will not buy if you do not offer. See, at the end of the day, you run a business, you need to make more offer. And yes, every time you send a promotional or an offer, you will actually get people who are unhappy and will unsubscribe from your list. Good. They shouldn't even be on your list in the first place if they are not going to buy. A lot of people get so caught up because they are afraid to send a promotion because they're afraid to offend people. See, I don't care. When I send a promotional email, I know that I'm sending something that will benefit them. And so if they don't buy, right, it's not my fault, right? Because I know that they were on my list in the first place because they wanted something. And the other thing is that if they're not even going to buy, then they shouldn't even be on my list. This is why I love people who unsubscribe, because it just tells me that you're not even supposed to be on my list in the first place. So just unsubscribe so you don't receive any of my email anymore. Sometimes I even send emails to my email list and tell people to unsubscribe if they're not receiving value and if they're annoyed if I make an offer. And guess what? Those people who stay are people who love me making an offer and they love to buy from me. So I'd rather send emails to a bunch of people who love to buy from me than to try to please everybody who is not happy as long as I sell something. And so over time, by doing this consistently, actually we do it every single month. We keep filtering out the list, we send the list, we tell them unsubscribe if you don't want to be on the list, if you don't want to buy anything from me, unsubscribe, unsubscribe, unsubscribe. Over time, you will filter your list and you have a very quality list. This is the reason why our company was recently able to generate $100,000 just from an 8,000 list. Now, we obviously, again, we had more than 8,000. We just kept doing the list hygiene and remove people. And this is why 8,000 lists generate more sales than my another business with 100,000 lists. So don't be afraid of unsubscribe. Send more offers and people who want to be on your list will stay on your list. So that's it. To summarize, there are 3 key points to make your email marketing work. Number 1, constantly grow your email list by finding a cheap traffic source. Try to sell something on the front end so you can break even and your email list is free and you keep growing that to a certain level. Number 2, build a relationship with your list. Don't just send them promotion after promotion. Be relatable, share your struggles because people relate to your struggles more than your achievement. And number 3, remember to also send offers and promotion and don't be afraid of people unsubscribing. You want people who do not want to buy from you to unsubscribe and people who love buying from you to stay on your list. I hope that through this video, I can inspire you to pay more attention to your email marketing strategy because that's something that has helped us to grow our business and has helped many of our students and our clients grow a long-term sustainable business. Let me know what's your biggest takeaway in the comment section below and how you're going to apply this strategy in your business. At the same time, because my channel is still small, if you have any question, go ahead and put it in the comment section. I'll be answering every single one of them. Don't forget to like this video and consider subscribing for more videos like this. So that's all I have for you today. Bye for now.